Welcome to Story Hour, a virtual meetup hosted by Wolf and Heron. Molly, I'd love to turn it over to you. The stage is yours. You've got 5 minutes.
So the worst heartbreaks I've experienced haven't been with boyfriends or almost boyfriends or never going to happen, but I'm going to pretend boyfriends. The worst heartbreaks I've experienced have been with friends, best friends, the kind of friends you can't imagine not being friends with until you aren't friends anymore. The first time I ever experienced a friend breakup, I was in high school. So of course, everything is amplified. I mean, the world could be on fire and it doesn't matter because your mom's late picking you up to soccer practice. Like everything is way harder. I was a senior in high school and sort of being edged out of my friend group, terribly traumatic. And of course, instead of processing what that actually meant, because that wasn't a thing I did at 18, I just covered it up with distraction and busyness and getting ready for college. But a seed was planted during that experience. And I experienced losing a friend quite a few more times after that. I began to fear what it meant to get close to someone. I started to assume they'd eventually go away. I was careful not to hurt people, and I avoided conflict at all costs. So when I did mushrooms at my birthday party without Kendall, after telling Kendall I would do mushrooms with her at my birthday party, I panicked. I was chill because that's what psychedelics do for you, but I was way aware that something happened. Conflict happened. I didn't mean to do mushrooms without her. I was a little tipsy at the time. It was my birthday. I was self-absorbed. I forgot. But what's worse is I did it with 2 other friends, Carly and Justine. So it wasn't a good look. It was exclusionary. This is why you lose friends, my inner monologue cried out loudly. You don't do what you say you're going to do. Kendall took one hard look at my dilated pupils and said, "Cool," and walked out of the party. It took us a while, but Carly eventually realized that she had been using Kendall's portable phone charger earlier that day. Kendall had Carly's phone. "I know what we must do," Carly said in all of her psychedelic seriousness. "We must walk to Kendall's." Now, keep in mind, Uber totally existed at this time, but Uber wouldn't be an adventure, so it was off the table, and the 2-mile journey began. It was golden hour in California. The pinkish clouds weaved together in soft motion. Everything was dancing. The California morning glories were pulsing. The beach salt bushes shivered. The stop signs glowing. Everything in sight was up for interpretation, required a lengthy discussion, and prompted existential questions. "What is that?" Justine said. "A block party." As the purple and pink clouds melted into the sky, it seemed to hang over this particular neighborhood. At the time, it seemed like this particular neighborhood existed in its own small universe. Children were laughing, enormous inflatable bounce house castles floating midair, really, really, really hot parents drinking craft beer out of glass bottles. And then they looked over at us, standing there aimlessly across the street. And they called out, they waved, they were inviting us into their world. We all looked at each other with curious eyes. "We can't. If we go into their world, we'll never leave, and we are on our own mission," I said. I marched onward. I was on my own mission. We were almost there. I couldn't lose Kendall as a friend. She had been one of my first friends in a city in which I knew nobody. We went to Taco Mamacita on Tuesdays. She was teaching me adult things like how to save money. If I could have rewound time and delivered a piece of bread with Nutella smeared with mushrooms on a silver platter, I would have. We sat outside of Kendall's Hermosa Beach home for what felt like hours, and she did not come out. Eventually, her boyfriend felt bad and snuck the phone out onto the front steps. We took an Uber home in defeat. I spent the rest of the night staring up at my bedroom ceiling, watching the grooves make new shapes on the wall. I lost her. The next morning, when I was back in this world, I called Kendall. I was full of fear, but I had to muster up one sober apology before she wrote me off forever. "Kendall, I'm so sorry. I didn't..." "Molly, dude, it's fine. Do you want to grab coffee at the pier?"